Good evening and welcome to the first commission meeting of 2021. We finally made it out of 2020, so we're happy about that, I'm assuming. If we could this morning, I'd like to bring the meeting to, or this evening, bring the meeting to order. And I would happily call on myself, I guess, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise and repeat with me. And if you see my pajama bottoms, excuse me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
up to the flag of the
United States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, first off, I'd really like to our new commissioner, or welcome our new commissioners, Ron, Josh, and Tricia. I'm looking forward to hearing from you later this evening. And we're going to go right to the consent calendar, and I would like to poll number 1, which was the
Well, we need a quick roll call.
Oh, roll call. Caitlin, you're on that.
All right. Commissioner Gonzowski,
Here.
Commissioner Reich,
Here.
Commissioner Reish,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
She's here.
she's here. She's having audio issues. Okay, she's here. Commissioner Vecchione,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Allen,
Present.
Chairperson Avery.
Present. Okay, also I would like to state that unfortunately, because of physical attendance by the public cannot be accommodated given the current circumstances and the need to ensure health and safety of the Community Service Commission, city staff, and public as whole is relevant. So if you did want to make comments this evening, you needed to write them out and present them to the city. So if you did that, great. We'll look forward to seeing them. All right, we're pulling number 1 from the consent calendar. Has anybody else got anything else they'd like to pull from the consent calendar? Ron.
I want to pull consent calendar item number 3.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, great. Then we can just go on with our reports.
I'd like to go ahead and make the motion that we approve the rest of the consent calendar with the exception of consent calendar item number 1 and number 3.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, it passes. It's always so interesting to pass stuff on WebEx. And thank you for that, Ron. Okay, so we can go right into the reports now, right? We have the Recreation and Community Services report. Anybody?
Madam Chair, I think we need to go back to the consent calendar. We need to do the minutes first, and then we need to go back to item number 3.
Correct.
Okay, on the consent calendar, do I have a move to pass from somebody who was here and heard the meeting, to pass the minutes from the last meeting? Any motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Yeah, you got your hand up, okay.
Aye.
Point of order, you might want to do a roll voice count because you're going to have people that are going to abstain from actually voting so that the general public realize when they see this that who abstained and who actually voted for it, just for this agenda item. Just a point of order.
Okay, so would you vote and say your name? Avery is an aye. Kathy?
Aye.
Deb,
Aye.
Josh,
Abstain.
Pam,
Aye.
Ron,
Abstain.
Tricia.
Abstain.
Have I missed anybody? Okay, moving on to item number 3. Ron,
Thank you. It's just a question of staff on this. More and a comment also. I appreciate seeing the notes on this. It makes sense why some of the things are where they are. But my question is there any way on the membership on page, agenda item number 3, page 3 of 6, that where it says the membership type summary graph where it has the pie? Is there any way of giving somehow the reader the ability to look at that, just that graph and see exactly what those percentages, who they represent, who, what? Does that make sense? Because I can see above the numbers, and I know that's what they represent, that graph that's in the middle of the left-hand side. But the way it's broken down, at least the way I see it, I can't tell that 30% what that goes to unless I have to look at another part of the report.
Are
Does
you
that make
saying that you would like to know what what type of membership the percentages go to?
Yes, because
Okay.
there's a key on the right-hand side that says the different groups, but it doesn't show what that percentage is other than when you look in the pie. Does that make sense?
Correct. Okay. So let me go ahead and break down the pie for you and I'll get you that information.
Thank you very much. With
You
that, with that, I have nothing else. I'd like to say it's nice to see that report. It's a bummer with the numbers, but it is what it is. And I will not make the motion because I see Kathy's got her hand up. And then make the motion to approve it.
Kathy,
Ron, if you enlarge that graph, take your fingers on it and enlarge it, you can see that the color coordinating with the groups over there. You can see the little color beside the single membership.
Unfortunately, when I printed off the agenda, when I printed it off, it is not on there.
Oh, but if you take on your iPad, if you blow it up, you can see it.
If you had an iPad, I would believe that, Kathy.
Oh, sorry.
We don't have ours yet.
Sorry.
I'll get you those numbers. Don't worry.
No problem. Thank you. With that, I'd like to make the motion to go ahead and approve consent calendar item number 3 as submitted.
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
3A, yes?
Aye.
No? Is it
Aye.
Aye. Is it unanimous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's unanimous. Okay. And now the library and cultural services update.
Okay, all right. Good evening and welcome to our new commissioners, new and returning commissioners, I guess. And I will just highlight a few things from the past couple of months, and then, as always, you're welcome to ask any questions at the end. In December, we hosted another virtual version of one of our popular in-person programs, What Should I Read Next? The winter edition. This is when we have reps from Penguin Random House come talk about new and upcoming titles. It's always a popular event. One of the things that we noticed with this is a trend that we've been seeing with our virtual programs a lot, which is the live attendance. We streamed it with Warwick's on Facebook Live. There were about 35 people there. The live presentation in the week following, we had 500 views of that presentation. So, the virtual programs don't always have, that same fun, crowded room feel that the in-person programs do. But the advantage of doing them virtually is that they are accessible to a lot of people who may not be able to attend the live program. So those are continue to be successful for us, and we've really been enjoying partnering with Warwick's. They're great to work with, and have had multiple successful programs with them. Speaking of digital things, we've been continuing to grow our digital collection, and of course, as you might guess, with COVID and things being much more restricted, the usage of our digital collection is really growing. We've been doing some data collection and preparing things for our annual state report. And we found that digital book checkouts between March and November increased by 56% over the same period in 2019. And that we had set ourselves a performance target for a 15% increase. And so COVID sort of really pushed us along in that and far exceeded that. We've also shifted a substantial amount of collection money towards the digital collections to make those more accessible, to reduce the wait times for digital books. And that's been going really well. We purchased more than twice as many digital copies of titles as we did in the previous year, and have a nice wide range of titles available. So that's been going well, and there's also thousands of titles that are available with no waiting. So you know, that's been a really good and helpful option. We're seeing an increase in users who, you know, obviously hadn't used digital books before. They're trying those out a lot more, and we've been having good success with that. You may have seen, if you visited the Civic Center in October, November, our outdoor library lounge. We talked about that a little bit at the last meeting, but I wanted to include some pictures here. This was a really nice collaboration between our cultural arts and library and the city's public services department. We had our Friends of the Arts and Cultural Arts Committee and some local artists work on painting all of the easy apps, and then Keith and his crew worked their magic and really made a fun and creative outdoor space, Wi-Fi enabled. And since we couldn't allow people to linger in the library, it gave a nice space with social distancing sort of built in, and it was a really nice way to kind of supplement our offerings while things were closed. That came down for Santa's Village, and it will be going up again at some point a little bit later this year. We're going to get through the, you know, weather season such as it is here in Mission Viejo, and then when things improve just a little bit, and hopefully, you know, once the restrictions start lifting, we've got some ideas for some creative programs that we can do out there in that space. So, you know, we'll start doing some fun planning for programs and things out there. We have been starting some new video series. Our staff picks of books and movies, little videos that we post on our Facebook page. Those have been really popular over the holidays. Some of our librarians did some fun holiday conversations. We've been finding we miss talking with our patrons and sharing stories. And so this was kind of a fun way to share some stories and get some feedback from patrons. And we may be doing some more of those in 2021. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of other things as I mentioned with, you know, collecting stats for the end of the year. We started our curbside pickup service in June, basically the second week of June. Between June and the end of December, we did over 14,000 curbside deliveries. So that service has been really popular and has been a great way to continue serving our patrons while we've had to be closed or open only by appointment. And we keep, you know, getting great feedback from people using the service, that it's just been a lifeline, and it's been a great way for us to continue to get materials out to the community. So we've been able to do some fun things. We're also offering activity kits for kids and families via Curbside. We're doing our Curbside concierge service where people can put in a request, you know, give us some idea of what they'd like, and then librarians will handpick some books for them. And so we've really been looking for those creative ways to open up services through the curbside delivery system, and that's been very popular. So just wanted to bring those to your attention. And we've also got a couple of virtual Writers Presents events coming up this week. So if you have time, we have the Writers Present with Melanie Benjamin, and that's tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Zoom. Information's on the website. She writes historical fiction, and we've had her before. She's really wonderful, and her books are just fascinating. And then we have Mary Rose Wood coming on the 23rd at 1 o'clock. And she writes children's books, so middle grade, sort of upper elementary, that age. And so this will be a good one for families and kids. So continuing to do some of those popular programs in the way that we can right now. And like I said, we've been getting a good response to those Writers Presents online, and grateful that we're able to continue to offer those. So that's it for my report right now, but I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has some.
I have a question. Hi, nice to meet
Hi.
you. Do we have audiobooks in the library?
We do. Yes, we have a lot of audiobooks. They're very popular. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I'm still having a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
We have downloadable audiobooks and we have physical audiobooks. So anything that's on the shelf right now, you can place a hold on and pick it up via Curbside. So you can search for audiobooks that way. When you search the library catalog, if you're looking for a particular title and you want it in audio, you can limit your search to just searching for audiobooks if you'd like to do that. And place a hold, and then we'll notify you when the title becomes available and you can come and pick it up between noon and 5, Tuesday through Saturday. So
Are they on like a cassette? What are the, because I know the Braille Institute, has those for
Right.
seniors I care for. Is it the same kind of cassette or is it?
Ours are CDs, or we also have the downloadable formats through our Overdrive service, and those you can listen to on whatever device that you have that plays. So you can listen on a phone or an iPad or a computer, MP3 player, those types of devices.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Ron?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm intrigued by numbers.
Uh-huh.
Out of curiosity, since this is a December report submitted in January, why did you only use numbers March through November? What's unique about December not to have December's numbers in there?
Well, because some of the reports don't come until later. And so, especially with our downloadable books and stuff, I just didn't have those numbers when we put that report together. But I can include those for you next month.
Well, I was just wondering because I just thought it was interesting because I thought maybe numbers got skewed in December for one reason or another.
No, this was actually, I pulled those numbers before the holidays and then just didn't go back and update them before we submitted the report. But I can include those in the next month. The curbside numbers and everything, those all go through, and your stats report does show through December. But when we were doing our comparisons, we were doing that for some of our budgeting purposes, and so we were looking at the March through November numbers because that's what we had on hand at the moment.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Victoria.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, Genesis, thank you. Good to see you. Okay, Mr. Mark, we have the community service recreation service update.
I love it. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the new commissioners and welcome back to the returning commissioners.
I'm glad you didn't say the old commissioner.
I stumbled there a minute, but I caught myself. Just some things that are going on and to highlight things that may not be in the report is the city has launched a diversity and inclusion task force, and we just recently will be going on Tuesday to the city council meeting to talk more in depth on it, but I'll definitely keep the commission involved. But we've recently established a mission statement and the purpose for this task force, and we're reaching out to local organizations and churches and city staff to see who's interested. And we just sent that out maybe about a week ago, and we've got about a group of 20 that are interested in participating and promoting programs and services for the community. everybody, whether it's race, ability, preference, religion. It's going to be pretty cool, I think, and I'm pretty excited to be a part of it. So I'll keep you guys informed on that as it progresses, but if you got nothing going on Tuesday night, you can check it out. I think we're one of the first presentations on Tuesday. Some things trending for recreation and community services is our food program. So food insecurities has always been something that we have been involved with, but especially during this pandemic, our market, our commodities, our home delivered meals, they just continue to go up, and there's a need for that from seniors and others. Even listening to our partners in the community that like our food banks and food pantries and stuff like that. We've been blessed to be able to work with so many different nonprofits, and they've been counting on us to put on, which is now monthly food drives over at the Murray Center, and those continue to be popular with people being very generous in this community to drop food off to help those organizations, which then, of course, helps residents here in Mission Viejo. We are, let's see, what else can I tell you? We are working on collecting resources from our partners to deal with mental health. There's a lot of things in the news now, and you will see of mental health with the pandemic and the effects of the pandemic. And so we will be getting some information and updating some information for the community so that they know of resources and programs that are available to them to try to help them through this time. We've been adding on more online classes. So our contracted classes, you'll see that we've been offering online classes, but we've recently added some new ones, especially in the fitness realm, to help those that are trying to keep with their New Year's resolutions. This is our biggest time to try to grab people to be part of our recreation centers, and with all of our, a lot of our fitness classes down, we're still trying to get them involved and be engaged with them, and of course help them meet their fitness goals, which of course we are doing great with pickleball players and tennis players and our lap swimming. Those numbers continue to be higher than we've ever seen, and people just want to get outside and do something active. So we're very excited that we're able to provide them with those opportunities. Things that are coming down that you'll see here in a couple of months, I think, a few months anyways, is our community services grant funding program. Our applications are on the web, and nonprofits are able to apply for some funding. So those applications will be coming to the commission probably in April-ish, maybe May. We've got to distribute those funds to them before the end of the fiscal year, and we have to get it to the council to approve as well. And I'll go over that with a couple of the new commissioners who haven't necessarily been, actually, Josh, you've been involved with that also, but on the staff side of things. So really, it's you, Tricia. I'll be spending some time with you on the community services grant funding program to let you know what that program's all about. Our biggest news this week, and I heard some of you talking about it before the meeting started, was the outdoor fitness equipment over at Montenoso. So it has been relocated. The Montenoso gym has been picked up and relocated to the tennis court, and we're super excited to have that amenity available to get some of our members back into our facilities, and again, to continue with resolutions and just keeping our community healthy and promoting fitness within the community. We are very excited to have that amenity available. So I think some of you have stopped by to check it out. If you haven't, please go check it out. If nothing else, just compliment how well it looks and how much time and effort and muscle went into putting those tents up. My back still isn't the same. I think Liddy was like out there, no problem, just like, oh, we'll just do this, and connecting it together. But these are big tents. There are 4 20 by 40 wedding tents, I call them, out there on the tennis court. And it's got quite a bit of equipment out there. And kudos to Adam Chio for going through our equipment inventory and figuring out what pieces we needed out there to make sure that people could get a well-rounded regimen in and accommodate as much fitness needs as possible. The last thing I'm going to end on tonight in my report is I'm going to be coming back to you next month, and I wanted to give you a heads up that we've got vacancies. Our department, for whatever reason, some people have left for brighter futures. Some people have retired. We had some internal promotions and haven't been able to fill vacancies. But since the pandemic hit, we have had six positions vacant. And so that's having an impact on our ability to provide programs and services. As you can imagine, the pandemic has hit the city's revenues. And there is all these things that we want to be able to do citywide, and we're just not going to be able to do it. And so we're going to come to you next month, at least, and kind of outline where we are, what we're doing, and get your input on what you think the priorities should be moving forward. As we start to come out of this pandemic and start to bring stuff back, we're not going to be able to bring everything back. And I encourage you to, if you haven't already, to listen to the mayor's opening remarks from last week's council meeting and listen to some of the priorities that the council have identified. There's some big ticket numbers in there, and those big ticket items are going to have a toll on the rest of the budget, which means we might not be able to provide certain things. Things that are kind of hanging out there that we haven't been able to get to or that were put on hold were the renovation at the Montenoso Recreation Center, the pool. That's been something that we've mentioned to our members that was going to come when we increased our fees there. And then, of course, the pandemic hit and we had to put all that stuff on hold. Over at Felipe, we were looking at resurfacing all the courts to add some pickleball courts and some joint use courts over there to increase the usage and accommodate the demand that we've had for pickleball. And then there's some programs and events and things that, of course, been canceled, but we would like to bring back, but we just don't know if the funds are going to be there. So we would definitely like to hear the input from the commission on what you think the community needs, what the community wants, so that we can take that information. And when we prioritize our services and programs for the budget that's coming up, we've already started preparing the next 2-year budget. We want to take your input and incorporate that into that as we develop where we need to spend the funds. So that concludes my report, unless there's any questions, and I hope you will look at the upcoming programs that we have able to still put on. A lot of them are drive-through or now virtual. So we hope you participate in some of those, and if nothing else, just drive by and honk at the staff. We get a big kick out of that when you guys come by and cheer us on for doing something. We just like seeing people, and we don't see very many people anymore. So come on by. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. By the way, have I told you how great it looks out at the tennis court? Really good. Super.
You noticed.
I did. Hard not to notice. Okay.
I have a question. Yeah, I went by today with Pam and Trish. It looks so good. I mean, you want to have a wedding there. It looks so good. So thank you for all that effort. And I'm just so impressed, you know, how you guys have just really worked around this COVID and have just adapted from the library to the rec centers. It's just so impressive. And even the drive-through for food, you know, I've done that. I take care of 3 seniors on my street. And it's just amazing to me how all of you just jumped in and just worked around it and just, you know, just did all these positive things. But I'm just really impressed. So thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, I think a lot of us feel the same way. They've done a great job with COVID. Okay.
I think if you're a personal trainer, you should get married out there with all that equipment. Your guests can sit on each thing, you know, and have the wedding there. Look at that revenue we could make.
And thank you for your input. Okay. All right, we have new business, which is replacing me. Oh, yes.
I have a question of Mr. Nix. Mark, I was bragging to a neighbor about the programs that we have. And one of the things I have a question on page 204, item number 7 was the city's able to give $50 grocery gift cards. Are those to a particular grocer, or are those like a Visa card where they can spend whatever their local grocery store is at? I said I didn't know, but I did.
I'm actually going to defer that to Drew, and I think those gift cards have already been given out. I don't think they're available any longer.
That's correct. I believe it was to Pavilions or it was Ralph's. I'm sorry, it was to the Ralph's. We had basically a surplus of funds that were donated for that program, and then in order to just expand on what was given to the low-income seniors, that we had some donations from Ralph's, and then in addition to that, purchased some gift cards. So people basically got more than they were expecting. So that was a nice holiday surprise for everybody.
Well, the other thing I want to say is, Mark, that with this whole COVID thing, I was impressed with staff calling to make sure I was okay, see what I was doing. If I had any questions, if I had any needs, I was blown away. And it's nice to talk to other seniors that also got phone calls for the same thing. I just want to make sure that you realize that some of those older people, because I'm not old, but all those older people appreciated it.
Yeah, we did. Older people, those that we really liked, we called, and that was a combination between library staff and recreation staff. And I think we both still have lists going where we're calling on a weekly basis individuals. So that's one thing the commissioners could do, is if you know somebody, if you can recommend people, we'd love to add more people to our wellness checks and just let them know what services we're able to provide now. You know, food again is a big question that we get. We'd love to put them in connection with any of our food programs if they need help, or any services really if they need help. Again, we're here for the community and recreation. I speak for recreation, and I know the library's been doing it too, as we've had to change gears. We aren't doing events and we aren't doing programs, and now we're more responding to the needs of the community, whether it's food or getting them masks or hand sanitizers or finding them resources for housing, anything like that. We're happy to do it, and that's why we're here. So thank you.
Anyone else have something for Mark? Okay, then we're moving on to the final item, which is the chair and vice chair appointments for 2021. Kathy.
Yes, I would like to renominate Victoria Avery as chairperson, because last year she didn't really get to do anything. So hopefully things will open up and she'll get to be doing something.
And I would like to renominate Kathy Allen as vice chair for the exact same reasons.
And I'll second that.
Well, okay, how about all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. It's unanimous. Okay. Well, that was the easiest thing. So I guess I don't get a plaque or anything, Mark.
If you look in your desk top right drawer, you'll see that, no, no.
Wait a minute. I've been here all day. Okay, well, I thank you. And I'm going to love working with Kathy again. Awesome. We'll be two-time, we'll get it together. Okay. All right. And with that, I want to ask all the commissioners to make their closing comments. And for our newbies, please share with us why you decided to come on the commission and what you'd like to get. Tell us a little bit about yourselves as well.
Wait, aren't we going to be sworn in?
Are we going to be sworn in? No.
Yeah, we'll do that at the very end.
Okay.
Probably should have done that first thing, but as long as we do it before we close the meeting, you'll be covered.
Okay, just in case. So, Commissioner Gonsowski.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be part of the team. I'm very excited. I've been part of, I've lived in Mission Viejo since '97 and been part of the MVAC for 5 years, and just realized that I could just pick up my involvement a little bit more, and thought I'd get involved with the commissioners. So very excited. Went over to Montenoso today and was majorly impressed just with the warmth of the welcome, and just everybody, you know, what I know is everybody's mindset is remembering people's names and making them feel welcome. And I just think, you know, especially in a fitness club, that's so important, because people just want that, you know, physical involvement now, especially during COVID. So, and I think especially for seniors and everything going over there, it's just somewhere to go. I mean, it's just fabulous. It just really touched me. So I'm looking forward to it. And learning, we had a little bit of guidance from Pam today. Thank you, Pam. She's been, you know, a great source of helping us trying to figure out what we are supposed to be doing and why we're doing it. So I'm sure we'll be learning along the way, and looking forward to getting any feedback and guidance from everybody on how I can, you know, bring something to the table. And yeah, like I say, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, great. Well, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Roof.
I'm Ron Roof. That's it.
That's it. That's all we need from you, right?
That's it. I spend too much time going over stuff I really want to tell everybody. And I don't know, I'm going to do it anyway. I want everybody to know that, well, hopefully everybody knows to remember CAPR CBM. We're all members of the California Association of Parks, Recreation Commissioners, and board members. I'm a past president of the association. There you go, perfect. We also had Gloria Herr, who was one of our commissioners that was past president of the association. I'm still on the board. I'm the current treasurer now. I love CPRS. Where are you, Lydia? I love CPRS. I actually sit on the CF, what is it? Anyway, for the California Foundation for Recreational Scholarships. We just got through making our recommendations. And last year we actually had somebody from our city that won one of the scholarships, which is pretty exciting. I did not recuse myself from voting for her because she was so good. It was awesome. I don't know what else. I currently chair the Kappa Unified School District's Facility and Finance Advisory Committee. I'm sit on Kappa Unified School District, what is it? School Site Council. I don't know what, oh, I am involved with AYSO. I manage 10 regions for the referee staffs. I've got 2 boys. I'm proud to say that last week I got my COVID shot. My son that works for Care Ambulance, they were able to give their employees the Madeira vaccine, which I could get. The Pfizer I was not able to get because of conditions that I have. And anyway, so we got our first shot, which is pretty awesome. And my son got his second shot today too. So the new commissioners, don't worry. We, your association, CAPR CBM, actually is doing some YouTube development right now, so you know as commissioners what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, how you shouldn't be out there managing or micromanaging what your responsibilities are, which is always important. I'm hoping that for the new commissioners, that Mark will have the ability to drive around, show you where all the parks are, so that when they're talked about, you're well aware where they're at, what they are. And please do me a favor, I'm not sharing, make sure you read your packet. That just drives me bonkers when you have a commission meeting and it goes on and on, not only because I talk a lot, but because people aren't prepared and ready to go. And it makes it easier for staff, everybody. And I know staff does not care for me because I do read the agendas, I read the packets, and I do have questions. I'm done.
Thank you, Commissioner Roof, and welcome.
Oh, I forgot to say, this is going into my 19th year as a commissioner.
Okay.
I spent 5 years in the city of Long Beach, which was a chartered commission. And those that don't know what a charter commission is, we actually set standards, policies, and fees. The buck stopped with our commission. It didn't go to city council. We were not advisory capacity. Then the city of Mission Viejo, I served 6 years, and then I got to serve 7 years because I took 1 year of somebody's term that had expired. So in essence, this is my 19th year, which is nothing because we have a guy in San Bruno that sits on your state association board that sits 56 years a commissioner for the city of San Bruno.
Okay, Commissioner Reish. Yes, Deb, that's you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was unmuting. I just want to say welcome to the new commissioners. I also wanted to say that I went to Santa's workshop. I thought it was really great this year with the drive-through. It was really well received by everybody. And I drove around and saw all the lights. I think there were more people that participated in lights this year than ever before. It was spectacular. I did go to the Montenoso gym today and Adam gave me a tour. I think it looks awesome. When I was there, it was covered with leaves, but it was windy this afternoon. I want to give a shout out to Amanda for being our MVP. She's got over 100 players signed up to play pickleball without partners, and she's doing an amazing job out there at Felipe. I also want to say I got elected to the board of the Lake Mission Viejo Association, and I'm working really hard at trying to bridge the gap between the lake and the city so that we can have some of our activities possibly there. And it's a process, but I'm hoping that we can work together. And I just want to close by saying parks make life better and love our town.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Smith.
Yes, thank you. Very warm welcome to our new commissioners. Ron, you're an old new commissioner. So it will be a pleasure working with you, Josh and Trish. I know you, Trisha. I know you guys very well, so it'll be a pleasure. Like I said, if I can be of any help along the way, please let me know. Again, I went this morning with them to look at Montenoso. Mark, your staff did an amazing job. I want to commend you guys also. Josh alluded to this, but what the library has done and what you guys have done to keep things afloat and coming up with these new ideas during this pandemic has been pretty good. I mean, it's amazing what you guys have done. Also, a shout out to Amanda for her pickleball program. It's got 140 players, I think, and surplus of 140 players. And I know I play down there all the time. I have a lot of comments from people that are playing, which is all positive and wonderful. So pleasure. I thank for being, I appreciate being put back on the commission. So I hope I do a good job and looking forward to working with all of you guys.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Commissioner Vecchione. Did I say that right?
Close enough. Vecchione in Italian, but Vecchione I go by.
Vecchione?
Yeah, Vecchione.
Vecchione.
Good.
I like
There you go. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm just really excited to be a part of this whole team. Thank you so much. And again, same ditto what Pam has said about how amazing all of you have just adapted to this COVID. But a little bit about me. I moved here in 1969. My dad was transferred here from New York and nothing was here. My brother and I were like, where did you move us? So, but it's so nice to be a resident here for so long and see, what it was like then and where we've, come from. So I have 3 kids. I have a 26-year-old daughter getting her doctorate in artificial intelligence at Cornell. She's home from college because it's online. I have a 20-year-old majoring in physics and mathematics, my son, and my daughter, 16, goes to Orange County High School of Performing Arts. And they're all home in the house with my 92-year-old mom and my wife. And I wanted to be commissioner so I could go somewhere and get out of the house. So, I was an employee for about 6.5 years in Parks and Recs, and I just thought it was maybe time to do something else, even though I love my job. I love working at, mostly I was at Sierra. I loved working with our Aqua ladies. So I loved dancing for them. You know, that was my highlight. So, but I'm just really excited about just serving the community and just be involved with whatever I can and volunteer what I can. Dress up in costume whenever I can. So my leprechaun is still waiting for me, my costume. So, you know, maybe I can be Santa someday. I don't know. Grow my beard longer. But, you know, I've worked with, of course, Mark and Liddy, and I'm just, you know, just so impressed of just, well, both of them and just how the staff is just does their job. And I'm just happy to just be a part of the community and serve any way that, you know, I can. So pleasure meeting all of you. And that's it.
Thank you, Josh. Commissioner Allen.
Yes, welcome, as everybody said, to our new commissioners, and we can all do this together. We're better together. So, any questions you have or anything like that, Ron, you can answer them. Okay? Just kidding. Okay. Well, I was a senior appointment, so I want to bring up two senior things. And so, Drew, this is for you also. I signed my mother up for the grab and go lunches, which are amazing. So if there's any seniors that are listening that don't do the grab and go lunches, they are great. They come frozen and you just pop them in the microwave and then they're good to go. If you don't want to eat them that day, you put them back in the freezer. So it's just a great thing. And I didn't know about it until I just happened to be there and I saw the sign for it. So that's a great thing. Also, I want to commend you on all the senior drive-through things that you've had for them. It's nice to be able to take mother. I think I said this last time, to take mother someplace that I know is safe, you know, and then she can get out and see people. And I know they're having something come up January 22nd. I think it's I don't know, their music one or something. Name that tune, I think it's called, or something like that. So those are all great for the seniors to have. For the recreation side or the library side, I've been doing the curbside. And I'll have you know, today I become digital. I'm listening to my first book, and I have 3 on hold. So, welcome to the digital world. And then I'm also going to the Writers Present. Thank you for having historical fiction. That's my favorite, so I can't wait to hear her tomorrow afternoon. And congratulations to Amanda again. She certainly deserves it for all that she's done. And I want to thank the Mission Activities Committee for hosting the Santa Stop, Wave, and Go. I think it was a great thing that they were able to provide something for the holidays for the community. And it was very well received. We had lots of people coming every night. And so it was an honor to be able to do that, to have some normalcy to the holiday season. And with that, I'll close and welcome aboard, everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Okay, so that leaves me, and I am just so glad we made it through Christmas. I thought Christmas, I was dreading it, and I was almost postponing it. But then I drove around our city, and the lights were out, and Santa was out, and it really helped me get through the season. So if it helped me, I'm sure that it helped a lot of our citizens. So the Activities Committee, man, that was so important this year. More important this year, I think, than any year we've had it. And my father was Santa. Okay, back when Josh moved here. Okay. So I really do. I think the Activities Committee went out of their way and did a great job on keeping the community sane. I even did the drive by the lights. I took my mom out, my 85-year-old mom, and actually she'd had a really bad day. She was crabby, and we kept driving around and looking at the lights in order, and we'd make fun of them or whatever. And she started laughing, and I thought, you know, this was just a silly little activity, but it really made a difference to her. So thank you, Mission Viejo, Activities Committee, and the city for getting us through one of the toughest holiday seasons we've ever seen in our lives. I am impressed with this city and what they do. I'm impressed with the things that we come up with for people when you can't even get out. I mean, Kathy said I haven't gotten to do anything. It's true. There hasn't been a lot of activities out there that to get to go to, but there are activities, and we haven't just let everybody down. So I'm proud to be on this commission. I'm proud to be the chair. I'm proud for what we do. And actually, Mark got my head spinning with some of the changes because it didn't occur to me that as we come out of COVID, that we are going to need to make some economic changes on some of our programs. So I think that's going to be a challenge. That's going to be good. It's going to be a really good thing for this commission to look into and to come up with some really great ideas. So whatever we can offer to the city and to the commission or to the council, hey, I value it. I think they value it. So, and with that, parks make life better. We don't want to forget Grant. And does someone want to swear us in?
Yes, so the 3 new commissioners were all sworn in at City Hall by the city clerk, I believe. So the only people needing to be sworn in are going to be Chairperson Avery, Vice Chairperson Allen, Commissioner Smith, and Commissioner Reish. And there's in no particular order, just how you guys popped up on my screen. So go ahead and you 4 can unmute your mics. And then when you're ready, go ahead and repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
I state your name.
I state
Debbie Reish.
Hi, Kathy Allen.
Victoria Avery.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against
all
all
enemies,
foreign and
foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will
that
bear
I
true
will
faith and allegiance
allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties I'm about to enter.
And you 4 are sworn in. I will send you your forms to sign and mail back to the city.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Okay. And with that, welcome to
Can I shout out one thing?
This meeting is adjourned.
Okay. I just want to shout out to Drew. Thanks for all you did at Norman P. Drew. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Thanks, Josh. Bye, everybody.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Okay.